welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing the interview beer review because I had a job interview yesterday, got another job interview next week, I sort of think. They didn't send me back the email confirmation. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, yeah? But, before any of that happens, what will we have tonight? We will have beer. Lovely, lovely beer. So, what will we be reviewing tonight? This is Sierra Nevada's Maple Scotch, Scotch style ale. This is a Scotch ale / wee heavy. I'm not sure why they say Scotch style ale. Maybe it's got very strict guidelines or is trademarked. Who knows? So let's read the label, shall we? Deep malt flavors get a boost of sweet complexity from the addition of pure maple for a rich, silky, massively malty, cold weather beer. Scotch ales are wintertime staples known for their rich, malty flavors. This robust beer combines that traditional sweet malt flavor with a hint of maple for an added layer of depth, making this intense beer the perfect thing for sipping near a warm winter hearth. Kind of heavy, as you might expect from the name, at 7.3 ABV. Let this warm up a little bit, and I'm going to be pouring it into this style glass because they say they like a thistle glass. This is not a true thistle glass. This is a Belgian glass, but it's about as close to a thistle glass as I'll get. Obviously, let it warm up. This is a style that needs to be served, you know, at Scottish room temperature, so 60 degrees. Still probably not quite that warm, but we shall enjoy. Giving it a pretty vigorous pour here. Want a nice thick head. My pre-tasting, the head wasn't very thick, so I want to give it a nice thick one. Coloration is quite good. It's just very beautiful opalescent tan amber color. Almost like a golden amber tan. It's sort of gradates, so it's sort of light there. Not very much visible carbonation. With a light tan head. Very bready malt smell. Almost doughy. Very slight hint of maple sugar. Almost imperceptible. Just a hint of old world bittering hops. Just a hint, even almost more imperceptible. Main thing here, lots of malt smells. Rich malty smells. Fairly thick on the palate, but not overly so for the style. In fact, it might be a little bit thin for the Scotch ale style. There's flavor there, but not overly distinct. Notes are not really popping out. In the front is surprisingly prickly carbonation for the style. Finish is malty finish on the tongue. You leave a certain sweet and breadiness on the tongue with just a hint of hot bitterness. Not much dimension there, just a note of bitterness. But main essence, maltiness on the tongue. Front has kind of caramel malts. mids tend to have like almost like a effervescent note of maltiness, which is kind of strange because usually I don't have effervescent notes of maltiness. We're just kind of hitting up here. Maybe a slight hint of booziness towards the finish, not overly much. Just a lot of rich maltiness. Some caramel aspects to it, some bready aspects to it, especially in the nose. But overall, nothing really popping out. It's just kind of drinkable. Interestingly, not really much in the way of maple in the taste here, just a slight hint in the nose, and it probably adds to the sweetness somewhat. There's a bit of sugary taste to it, but not really having that sort of mapleness to that sweetness. Certainly well made and drinkable. Maybe I'm getting a little bit jaded because I'm not being blown away by it. But then a wee heavy isn't really supposed to be a style that makes you go, wow. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't really had all too many of them. The best one I ever had was Jacobite Ale. That was, you can probably go back to umpty million reviews to find that one. I really need to go find a way to go and catalog these so people can go and search for them. All 5 people who watch this. Hey, I'm not making fun of you guys. I love you. I love my audience, you know, my regulars. I should go and give you all a shout out. As it warms up, the maltiness is like widening a little bit. You know, the sweetness is becoming distinct from the breadiness. Still not really much in the way of maple flavors there. You get that hint of maple when you inhale, but not really much on the palate. Malt bitterness is also kind of increasing as it warms up, but not overly so. Just kind of balances out that maltiness on the tongue a little bit better. So it's only 8 minutes in, but so maple Scotch style ale. Well, it's drinkable. It's not cloyingly sweet. It's not off the style guidelines. It's just not overly interesting. Not really any notes that kind of pop out. It's just a nice drinkable beer. You know, go and get it if you're into Sierra Nevada beers. I always at least try to make an effort to go and pick up their seasonal pack. I'm finding that it's getting harder and harder to find the Sierra Nevada and Samuel Adams seasonal packs. They tend to sell out really quickly here in Hawaii. I actually had to go to, since I had the job interview, I went to the Tomuras in town, and they still had a few of these left, so I went and picked one up, but they're completely gone from windward side Tomuras. And, you know, they don't really have much in the supermarkets, so you're kind of out of luck if they're not at Tomorrow's and they're not at Whole Foods. And why would they sell out? Well, Kailua's kind of got a high hipster population, and, you know, the Marine base is nearby, and you'd be surprised how many Marines are into craft beer. It's actually kind of surprising. You know, I would have to say that they make up a very visible portion of Tomorrow's clientele on the windward side. You know, great. I don't really have many Marine friends, but it's always nice to see them, you know, buying good whiskey, buying good beer at a store, supporting local businesses. So I don't have much else to say. Go out and get yourself the winter pack if you're down for it. This is Maple Scotch, and that's your beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.